Hey y'all, it's Marshayla Monique. Welcome back to another coffee talk video. And y'all, don't mind this breakout. It's actually really bothering me. I know I haven't made a coffee talk video in a really long time, but here's the thing. One, if you watch my other videos, just going through stuff in life, you know, life is hard outside of creating. For two, whenever I do coffee talks, I always want the topic to be something that's like weighing on my heart at the moment or resonates with me at the moment. And like the topics that I had, I just didn't feel like I had enough passion for them at the moment. So went back to the drawing board, went through some other stuff in life, and now I have a whole new list of topics that I will get my coffee talk going. I'll get my coffee talks back up and running. Sorry for the pause, not gonna lie, it might happen again just because I always want to be authentic. So it's like, if it doesn't make sense, it's just not going to get posted, you know, like if I'm not comfortable with it, it's just not going to get posted, and that's really just all to it. So yeah, but I'm back. If you did see me make my drink today, that was a basically a remake of the shaken brown sugar espresso, I think that's what it's called. It's so crazy because I always feel like I know everything that's on the Starbucks menu, but like with the new drinks and stuff, sometimes I really just don't know. But if you like the shaken, I think it's called the shaken brown sugar almond milk, shaken espresso, I don't know, I'm not about to sit here and try to figure it out. Stress myself. Anyway, so the topic that we're going to talk about today is college. So it's kind of like college season going into the fall semester, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm just going to tell y'all a little bit about my college experience and then offer y'all some tips for college, basically how to twist the system, how to make connections, and just some things that I wish that I did in college. But anyhow, let's get into it. So just to give you a little background about my college experience, I graduated high school in 2015. Initially, I never wanted to go to college. I probably said this before in other videos, but I thought that I was going to work at McDonald's forever and be like a manager at McDonald's, and like that was just going to be my career path. I was just caught up in like this weird trance of life, just like drinking all the time, smoking all the time, and really just I did not care about college. I lied to my family and was telling them that I got accepted into Norfolk State University, which I didn't get accepted to. I just really wanted to, you know, fit in, I guess, or make it seem like I was doing something, but I really wasn't. I literally got up in front of my entire church at the time and told them that I was going to Norfolk State University in fall of 2015, and I wasn't. And I knew I wasn't, but like I felt like I was doing that for everyone else, you know. And yeah, so I ended up not going. I took a year off after high school, and then from there I kind of was just like, I don't know when I'm going to go back to school, but I kept just telling everyone like, I'm gonna go back, I'm gonna go back. But I never did. Well, I mean, I did, but like I really wasn't too worried about it. I also started to get this fear because like I was like, how am I going to transition back into college after, I mean, back into like school after not doing it for a year? So I had that fear, and that's kind of what that's kind of what like made the process even longer for me, because I had this fear. Also, just to tell y'all on a personal level, whenever I was in high school and even middle school, I was always in like your remedial classes, I guess you can call it. I didn't need to be in there at all. I'm a very intelligent person. I just really didn't like school. I didn't like being told what to do. I didn't like the structure of any of that. So they thought that I had like a disability possibly, so they put me in those classes that always had 2 teachers. So I was also like, how am I gonna go to college? Because after being in those classes for so long, I started to become accustomed to that environment of always having 2 teachers and possibly one of the other teachers giving me the answers to everything, so I really didn't have to do anything. Everyone that was in that class, in my group as well, in my group at least, we all used to just cut up, and the second teachers were always super cool, so we could really do whatever we wanted to do. So I'm like, how am I going to go to college if I can't have a second teacher? Like, I didn't know how I was going to do it. So just really just doubting myself. So initially I was like, Let me try to apply to Slippery Rock University. Boom, got denied. Slippery Rock told me that, hey, the transcripts that you sent over aren't really looking too great, so maybe you should try community college before you try to come here. You can take a semester there, get your credits, and then transfer them over. I'm like, I don't know what that means, but let me see what CCAC is hitting for. So I went to CCAC, which is Community College of Allegheny County. Every state should have community colleges. They're really cheap. It was nice to have a balance of doing a little bit of credits and then also being able to work and like be near like my house, I guess. But anyways, whenever I went to CCAC, I had to take a like entry test to like see what classes they were going to put me in. And once again, I failed the test. So they're like, we have to put you in this group of classes, make you learn a little bit slower, and then you can go to the regular classes. So I had to stay at CCAC for like a year and a half because I tested so low that they're like, yo, like she needs a little bit more, so we're gonna put her in this group of classes first, and then we'll level her up to the classes that can actually transfer. I initially did not know that at all, like that test was going to put me in like lower level classes, and I wasn't able to get to the higher level classes yet, which is another slap in the face because like I said, I'm an educated person, but like I just don't like test taking on it. It's not my thing at all. So did CCAC for about a year and a half, met a lot of great people, made a lot of great connections. When I first went, I was super scared because the environment was new for me, but like it ended up being like really smooth because everyone was an adult really. A lot of people were confused about what they wanted to do, just like I was. Initially, I went in as early childhood education. I never touched not one early childhood class while I was at CCAC because I had tested so low that like they weren't starting me on those classes at all. I didn't get to touch them. So my time there was really just like your general education classes, so like reading, writing, your math, and your science, and like a psychology class. I did pretty decent. Whenever I was at CCAC, I did have a 4.0. That was the only time I did have a 4.0. But yeah, when I was at CCAC, that was the only time I had a 4.0 within my entire college career. So do not get discouraged if you do not have a 4.0 in every semester of college. Of course, strive for that, but if you don't, then it's perfectly fine. Do not stress yourself out. So in 2017, August of 2017 is when I transferred over to Slippery Rock. Beginning of 2017, I sent my credits over and Slippery Rock had accepted me. So that was a great feeling. I keep my denial letter in my closet because it's something that like I like to look back on, because it was like they put a halt in my life, it seems. But at the end of the day, I have my bachelor's degree from there, so it's like seeing that is like really motivating for me, basically letting me know I can do anything that I put my mind to, regardless if I have to take a different path before I get there, I can get there. So I transferred to Slippery Rock in 2017. Still was early childhood education. I ended up switching my major to criminal justice my second semester at Slippery Rock, which is what I graduated, Bachelor in Science and Criminology. Well, criminal justice, same thing, but yeah, that's what I graduated with in 2020. So yeah, my college career was really a uphill battle. I will say, for me, college was not easy. It wasn't this thing that I was able to skate through like a lot of others are able to do. It was very difficult for me. I had a lot of dark times. I had a lot of uncertainty. I was on probation one semester. They wanted to make me leave the school one semester because I couldn't pay for things, and just a bunch of other things. So let me just dive into a few tips for college. So number one, stay away from football players. I said this in another video, but yeah, everybody thinks that they're going to be like the love of their life in college, which is a story for some people, but ideally it's not for a lot of people. A lot of people in college are really up there to run through as many bodies as they can. Simple as that. A lot of people do not want to go to college to find love. So don't go there with that mindset that you're going to meet this perfect person in college, because you're probably not. Another thing I will say is, whatever college you choose to go to, make sure you use your resources. Make sure you sign up for any type of club that catches your eye. Even sign up for some clubs that are like not something that you would usually dive into, but it could be something that is great for your educational growth and for your growth as a human being as well. You may be able to meet a lot of cool people in these clubs that you usually wouldn't like surround yourself with. So that's a cool thing that I did in college. I also will say, like, even though sometimes it seems like financial aid is against you and your biggest enemy and your biggest hater, there's free money in colleges. Like, I'm telling you now, there is free money out there. You just have to go out and get it and ask for it. So for example, one of my semesters in college, I was literally not able to pay for anything. I did not have much support when I was in college, barely any. But like, the support that I did get from my dad, I do appreciate that so much. But for the most part, it was really just me just out here plugging it, trying to figure it out, you know? So one semester I was not able to pay for my book, so I went to the financial aid office and I was like, look, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm having a financial hardship. I don't have any support, so I'm here. This is really the last straw for me. If I'm not able to get these books for the semester, I don't know what I'm going to do, because these books are something that I really need. Lo and behold, found out about this program in my university where, for people who are lower income or just having a financial hardship, you're able to apply for this scholarship, which usually everyone gets approved for. It's a one-time thing, so you get it for 3 semesters, I think it is, 3 or 4 semesters. But during those semesters, this program will pay for all of your books. They'll give you gift cards to go to your bookstore, or maybe on Amazon, whatever they choose, or they'll put the money onto your account for you to purchase your books. So that's what they did for me for 4 semesters, solely because I had went to the office and told them, I don't know what to do, I need your help. Or I can't be here. And they told me about this program, which is a program that is not broadcasted, which is what a lot of universities do. They're not going to be like, if you need help, like, come here. They're not going to do that. You really just have to go out and get it. And I was forever grateful for that, because it helped me out so much. So whenever my refund check came, I was able to use the refund check on groceries, on bills that I had, and really just miscellaneous stuff. Because if I would have had to pay for my books with my refund check, there wouldn't have been no refund check. Like, college books are expensive, especially for like your chemistry classes, your biology classes, your psychology classes, your criminal justice classes, or whatever your major is. Those books can range from $50 to $400. The major that I seen in college spend the most money on books was nursing. Nursing majors, I used to always feel very bad for, because all their books were like 200 plus. There was nothing around that. So yeah, I did that and it helped me out, and I was really thankful for that. By the time that grant was over, I guess is what you could call it, I was already on my feet enough. I had picked up a job on campus at the Starbucks on campus. I was only making probably like $8.50, but it was something. My checks are probably only $130, maybe $200 on a good week, but for the most part, nothing major. But that's really all that I really needed at the time. So I would also recommend picking up a job on campus if you can do so. If you do choose to pick a job up on campus and you're scared that you're not going to be able to keep up with like your work and stuff, you can apply at the library, or you can apply at your student center at your university. So like, you're able to work and also do your schoolwork at the same time. When I worked at Starbucks, the only time I was able to do my work was on my lunch breaks. Other than that, that's a hustle and bustle job regardless of where you're at. So I didn't really have time to do my work unless I had a break. So campus jobs are a great idea. So another thing I would say for college is, if you're going to a university and you're going with your best friend and you're like, oh my gosh, we should live together, like we're best friends from high school and shit like that, really don't think that's the best idea. I have seen so many friendships crash and burn when they came out of high school together straight into college. College is all about your personal growth and development. So putting yourself in an uncomfortable situation would just be getting a random roommate. Maybe your friend can live in the same building as you, or maybe your friend can do the same thing, but y'all need to grow separately and still be friends if you really want a longevity of a friendship, because living together with your friends is just like completely different. Like, y'all didn't live together in high school, and it sounds like a good idea to go to a university together and kind of lean on each other, which is still a good thing that y'all should do. But I would definitely recommend getting a completely new roommate and starting from there. That could be a new connection that you make, that can be a new friendship that could spark. You really never know, but you need to grow individually in college, because that's really all it is about. And once you're done with college, you're out into this real world and shit's not sweet. Another thing I will say is, don't get discouraged if you get into your major and you're like, wow, I really do not actually like this. I don't know what the percentages are, but there are so many people that go into college at this one major and switch 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. Like, that is completely okay. Now, I will say, if you do switch your major, that may hold you back when it comes to credits, but don't be discouraged about switching your major or realizing that this is something that you're really not passionate about, because at the end of the day, you're paying for this. This is money that you have to pay back, so you want to spend it wisely. You know what I'm saying? So change your major as many times as you want. Nobody is holding that against you. Everyone does it. Another thing that I will say is, whenever you solidify whatever major you do want to study, make sure you know exactly what classes you need to take, because at the end of the day, a lot of these advisors and universities as well, they're really trying to keep you there as long as possible, because if they keep you there long enough, that's more money for the school. So whenever you finally figure out what you want to do, know exactly what classes you need to take. So whenever you go to your meetings with your advisor, you already know what you need to take, and they cannot bamboozle you. I've been bamboozled so many times when it came to graduating. I was supposed to graduate in 2018/2019, but when I went into the office with my advisor, she's like, oh, actually you have to take this class. Sorry, you're actually going to stay here for another year. I'm so sorry. I thought we told you. Y'all didn't. So stay on top of your credits. Keep that in your own personal storage, or your own personal place, to where, like, you know exactly what you need to take, so they can't give you the runaround or try to make you take pointless classes. But there are going to be the instances where you have to take those pointless classes. That's just like college. Those are just classes that you have to take. They're kind of inevitable, that you can't get out of. So like, if you're like a crim major, I was confused on why I was taking Spanish, biology, and chemistry. It's like, and like psychology and stuff like that, because that, or art, that had nothing to do with what I had to do. But I do think it's a good thing that universities want you to kind of expand your mind, because I remember what had caught my eye in college is when I had to take a communications class. That was probably one of my favorite classes ever, and that was because, like, I just got to dive into how to communicate effectively and a little better than how I currently did, and like just the different types of communication and how to receive and give out proper communication. So that was a class that really caught my eye and has also helped me carry myself on social media a lot. And then I will say there was this other class that I had to take. It was called it was like a military class. I don't really know why I took it, but I heard it was fun. So another thing is, you definitely ask around, like once you make friends or like people that have been in college for a little bit longer at that university, ask them what classes they took, or some classes that may be fun or beneficial. But I took this military class. I literally cannot think of it, and I cannot even think of the professor's name, but that was my dog. He's one of my favorite people ever, and I learned so much from him, and I don't know why I can't remember his name, but I am friends with him on LinkedIn. I'm gonna actually find him once I end this video. But yeah, some classes that may seem pointless may teach you something in the long run. Another thing I will say, and this will be the last tip that I give y'all, is connect with your professors. My biggest takeaway or learning experience from college is, if you go into your classes on the first day of the semester and actually get to know your professor, whenever it comes to the end of the semester and you need that extra 5% or that extra 5 points, an extra 1 point to take you from a B to an A, or from a C to a B, that professor is going to remember that you came and introduced yourself to them and you care about your grades, so they may give you a little bit of bump. Let me give you an example. In my military class, I think it was the second like military class that I had took, and it was a little bit tougher. I literally cannot remember the names, but I was super close with the professor. Like, we talked on a personal level, like we got to know each other, we kiki, chop it up, whatever. He was he used to be a Marine, super cool dude. So at the end of 2020 semester, when like everything was online, I wasn't the best learner when it comes to like learning online and like being virtual. I just don't learn that well that way. But in the semester, I had basically failed out of his class and got an incomplete. So that meant that I was not going to be able to graduate. Yeah, so based off of that grade, I was not supposed to graduate. But look, the professor emailed me, and this was one I'm cool with. He's like, look, Marshayla, like, I don't know what you got going on, but I know that this grade is not you. I know that this work that you had turned in is really not you. And I told him, like, yeah, like I just really had a difficult time learning in this environment. Like, it was just really tough for me. He was like, you know what, I bangs with you, so here's what we're gonna do. This last project, what I want you to do is at least do this, write out a 3-page essay or whatever, and I will take you from an incomplete to a C. And I graduated because I did the essay. So little things like that, getting to know your professors, because getting to know your professors is very important and essential in college, because I promise they are going to remember you. And it's not going to be like you're being fake. Like, it's actually genuine. If you care about your education, you will extend your arm out to your professor, because at the end of the day, we're both adults. Like, we got to call a spade. Like, I'm looking for help here. So being able to have those open conversations with your professor and to be an open space, like when you're going through something and your grades just aren't looking too well, but like they know that you're a genuine person who cares about this, they'll give you those points, or they'll give you that leeway. So that was something I really appreciated from that professor, and I cannot think of his name. But that was my dog. If you went to Slippery Rock and you're watching this video and you took that military science class, you know who I'm talking about. Coolest dude ever. And the quote of the week is, just because you took longer than others doesn't mean you failed. Remember that. This really pertains to me and resonates with me, because I graduated college at 24. The average age to graduate college is like 21, 22. So a lot of times I did feel discouraged because I was a little bit older than everyone, but that didn't mean that I was a failure. That didn't mean that like I sucked at life or anything like that. It's just my path was a little bit different than others. And like both of my younger sisters graduated college like earlier than I did, and like that was the thing that also ate me up. But it's never too late to go back and restart and chase your dream, literally. So do not get discouraged, and if you are someone that is about to go to college, I wish you the best of luck. If you need any advice or any resources, you can definitely hit me up, because I know a lot of grants at universities in Pennsylvania. I don't really know anything worldwide, but I can give you some advice. I can give you some tips on how to take notes. I can give you some websites to use to help you out with your homework. I can give you a number of things. So good luck to you in your journey if you are someone that is watching this and going back to school. But other than that, thank y'all for tuning in to this video. I appreciate y'all so much, and coffee talks are coming back. I told y'all, real vibes only. So I love y'all, and I will see y'all in my next video. Bye.